evening, everybody. This is John, Elite Gamers United, and I want to start out tonight's video with a couple of shout-outs. First, Tommy, Larry Ramos, Mark, happy birthday, dude. It was a pleasure meeting you and your buddy Fisher. What's up, guys? ATG, which is the antagonists. Check them out on Instagram, the antagonists. And Martin Evans, thank you guys for subscribing, and I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. So, let's get right to it. And as you all know, this is Rocky. He's one of our resident pups, and Chewy, who's laying on the bed over here. As we all know, hang on, let me just adjust this a trifle. Sorry, gentlemen. Okay. As we all know, Battle Arena Toshinden on the Sega Saturn doesn't have a great reputation at all. But let's let's analyze and break this game down. Let's break its main components down and see if it deserves the hatred, the dumpster fire reputation that it's earned. Also, I'm adding one new section for games that have some sort of extra significance, and that's a history. This game, historically, Toshinden came out at a time when 3D fighters were few and far between. Virtual Fighter being the first, and still the best series of them all, the most technical, the most mastery-driven. Tekken added a lot of style and substance, and had a little bit more wildness to its characters, which is, besides from one of the franchises around today, Tekken is probably the most relevant. Although Virtua Fighter, I hope you're coming back. We hope Virtua Fighter 6 is coming back. Toshinden, in its time, started on the PS1 and the Sega Saturn. Came out on the PS1 in America first, then got a remix edition. It was a betweener for Virtua Fighter and Tekken. It was a launch title, or damn near. It was a launch title for the PS1. It was a decent, at the time, weapons-based fighting game. What happened? I'll tell you what happened. Life happened. Anyway, let's get to the topic at hand. Battle Arena Toshinden URA was sort of Battle Arena Toshinden 2.5. Sega Saturn did not get a release of 2. They got a special one called URA, Ultimate Revenge Attack. Came out in America, Japan, and I think Europe. But it was the first game from GamePro to get its new coveted, at the time, 0.5 rating. Oh yes, indeed it did. And it got it in the fun factor department. Aha. But why? Let's take a look. Gameplay. You know what? The gameplay has probably already been rolling, because I recorded damn near a half hour of my girl playing this fucking thing while I got some of the title cards and some other shit done. So, gameplay's already been rolling. And another thing, the facts, I can't find too much trivia, and there's not much in the way of facts. I could put up some generic shit I don't know yet. I'll be doing it after this video, so whatever gets in the little box right above me, that's what you take and accept it, enjoy it, and read it, and take it for face value. Okay, so, Toshinden URA. Let's start in the visuals. This game is largely maligned, right, Rocky? Even you want to get away from Toshinden URA. This game is maligned in the visuals department. Let's actually fuck the in-game visuals. Let's look at the case. The characters are literally polygonal representations of themselves. Eiji has a typical outer glow effect right from Photoshop of a pinkish purple rose color. Okay. The artwork is shitty. I'll take the Japanese box art any day. But let's look at the graphics in this game. Now, first thing you may notice, the game is high-res. It ran in the Sega Saturn's high-res mode, which, at 60 frames a second, that's a beautiful thing. But now, why do the graphics get shit on? Why is this considered dumpster fire visuals? I'm not gonna lie. It's not the graphics themselves. It's not the blocky-esque characters. It's not the poor, static backgrounds. It's the animation. Each move, from what I'm looking at, has almost almost less than the bare minimum of animation needed to effectively convey the move itself. Otherwise, the characters don't look too bad. The character select screen is probably, and you'll see it, it's looped, is probably the worst, ugliest character select I've ever seen. Not the 3D, not the 3D environment sitting on the ground there spinning. Not the clouds. The fucking characters themselves. The characters themselves literally are the most piss poor 2D pre-rendered pieces of artwork I've ever seen in any game. So, fuck that. This game's visuals are not in the gameplay department. The visuals that make this game garbage is its character select screen. But to be serious though, the game has some cheesiness to it. Chewy, Rocky, stop it. Sorry, everybody. The dogs getting a little nasty with each other. Anyway, the visuals, the game itself is not a bad-looking game. The character models are not terrible. A little blocky, but they run... Well, when you have practically no animation, 60 frames don't mean dick. But I will say, it's not as god-awful as every... professional game journalist, more like professional jerk fuckface, than they make it out to be. It's very nice looking, seeing the high res mode on a Saturn fighting game. The backgrounds are not great. The environment is just a boring ass square arena that ultimately comes to an end. You fall off, and some of the ring outs are pretty terrible, and you'll see what I mean by lack of animation. Otherwise, there is diversity amongst the characters. Nobody gives a fuck about this franchise anymore, visually, or no, in general. I don't think the game is that trash looking. It's bad, but it's not garbage. It's not Steel Harbinger bad. It's not, oh my god, oh Jesus Christ. It's not, oh my god, it's not N64 Mission Impossible level bad. That was bad. I'm talking too much about the graphics because that's what this game was, because it got a 1 in graphics from GamePro. So that was a big deal back in the day. The sound. You know what? The sound is the best part of the game. Not the sound effects. Not the piss-ass voicing. Ugh, some of it is actually pretty horrendous. The music is very good. It's not a bad soundtrack for a middle-of-the-road, absolutely average fighting game series. Back in the day, this game was no hot ticket. It was deep. The first one was pretty good. It was alright. But the series never took off. There were 3 in total plus Aura, and that was it. And some game handheld iterations. I like tangents, okay? I'm here rapping, but I'm reviewing about the game. Alright? I've had people question me about, like, you go off on it. I'm reliving moment of history for this one. The sound is actually, the music, which is what you'll be listening to, besides the screeching and the sound effects, the music is not bad, alright? It's tolerable. The controls, okay. Toshinden has, the gameplay is, it's supposed to be like a fast-paced 3D fighting game, weapons-based 3D fighting game. The controls are not that terrible. You got 4 attacks. 2 of them are dedicated to your slash, weak and hard. 2 of them are dedicated to kicks, weak and hard. You have an evade button. You have you have your block. That's it. And Z and C activate special moves, I believe. One of them activates your overdrive move when you go into overdrive mode. Other than that, it's the basic quarter circles, half circles, dragon punch motions, Shoryuken motions. Let's be proper here. Any fucking moron chimp in the fucking zoo can pick this game up and put up a fight, okay? I don't think there's much strategy to this game, but I'll get to that in a second. The controls are not terrible. It's very easy to manage, pick up and play. Whether you have a good time or not depends on how much you like fighting games to a degree. But otherwise, it's just like any other 3D fighter. Once you learn the controls, It's all about how much enjoyment you get out of it. Now, the big thing here, the fun factor. So that was controversial. It got GamePro's first 0.5. 0.5. The worst score ever. The first month they added it was for this game. Now, why a 0.5? Okay, you can forgive animation, you can forgive visuals. I've played tons of games that have fucking shit visuals, but with tons of fun. Okay? That's like 98% of the N64 library, okay? Sorry, N64, I love you, but you haven't aged like a fine wine, okay? You turned into fucking vinegar, alright? But your games are still awesome. Okay, I think the fun factor was derived from the fact that AI is either brain dead, handicapped, mentally challenged, on life support, or super aggressively overly cheap. There's no middle ground, okay? Just look at the gameplay. This is somebody who's never played Toshinden before playing, and I commend Anna. She did a great job. I made her play to the end. I got a half hour of footage here, so you may not even see the ending. But I commend her. And the AI was set on, I think, the default. The game is not that challenging, okay? But the reason I think the game was not considered a fun game is because the story mode, the arcade mode, didn't tell the story like the first one did, or even the second one, with some really decent hand-drawn scenes. Hand-drawn, very minimal animated scenes, but you got a sense of the character. This game throws away all this wildly diverse cast of characters and throws it into a meat grinder and then into a trash compactor. There is no hook to any of these characters. None of them are going to grab you and be like, yo, that dude is awesome. Alright? My favorite character was always Kain. In this, he's not even a generic Ken, and Eiji's not even a generic Ryu anymore. They're just generics. Every character in this game is a generic. The two new characters that were added for this game, Ripper and Ron. Ron is considered the shittiest new character in history of fighting games. She's a female scientist with a set of hooters. Shitty character. Integral to the story, but shitty. And Ripper, who's a murderer, apparently. Another character integral to the story, but who cares? The story to this is who gives a fuck. Alright? Toshinden, nobody ever gave two flying shits about the story. And I don't. Okay? Corporation, done before. Dead or Alive did it far better than this game. Corporation, clones, replicants, whatever you want to call them. Just, yeah. So, the game, it's not a hard-hitting game. It's not fun. It's not, there is nothing truly redeemable about this game. But let us go back and ask ourselves, does it deserve the dumpster fire reputation it has gotten over the years? And you know what? Truthfully, it does, and it doesn't. And I'll give you a little reasoning why. Why does it deserve its dumpster fire reputation? Look at that character select screen. Okay? That's all I'm going to say. Look at the terrible box art for America. Look at it. Okay? As a fighting game, it's competent. If you have two friends like me, I remember when Toshinden came out on PlayStation, I would play it at my buddy's house all the time because I was a Saturn guy. I got this imported for Christmas of '95 on the Saturn. Okay? Toshinden S, which became Remix in America. But anyway, if you can find some fun here. It's not much, but it's far from the worst fighting game ever. I do think it has a couple, it's a short list, but a couple redeeming qualities. The music is not bad. It's got some good tunes. It's not a slow fighting game. It plays okay. Barely. That's it. Can't think of anything else. I really can't. And I would not want to play this game 20 plus times to see every character's ending. This is a game you own because it's a Saturn game. It's a hard to find. Even when this game came out, I was never able to find it in a store. Nobody ever carried it. I don't blame them. You'd have to pay them to carry it, and then they'd have to pay you to take it. But it stands as a testament to one of the Saturn's low points, and pretty much a franchise that had potential before Soul Edge slaughtered it and Soul Calibur. But otherwise, Toshinden, you will always remain a part of fighting game history as the middling, crybaby, little bastard cousin of Virtua Fighter and Tekken and Soul Calibur, or Soul Edge at the from the time. Otherwise, the only reason to own it is just to put another game in your Saturn collection, and a game that just is, it's not rare. I got this $30 complete, beautiful condition, beautiful booklet, beautiful disc, not a scratch on it. It's one of those Saturn games that, hey, it still costs $30. It was $50 when it was brand new back in 1996, 97 or whatever. And you know what? That's only $20 less than what it cost. Saturn games hold their value. A good portion of them, besides all the heavy hitters I've covered, that only go up in value. So, Toshinden URA is worth seeking out if you just want to put another game in your Saturn library and are just curious to see, is it as bad as everybody says? So you know what? I'm going to give you a definitive answer. Yes, it is as bad as everybody says. Is it just worth a curiosity look? I think so, and that's coming from a hardcore Saturn fan. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. I'm John. This is my channel, Elite Gamers United. Happy birthday, Mark. Chewy, Rocky. Chewy, you didn't get any screen time tonight, but you will be in the next video. And you all have a wonderful night. I want to also let you know, the next video, I will be introducing a new set of games in the introduction, my opening cinematic that I put together. I'm going to switch the gameplay out. The song I just changed. That's it. And if you didn't notice, I try to keep the trivia background for each game relative to the game. I could go take a picture of a dumpster and Photoshop some fire onto it and use it for this, which would actually have been a good idea now that I think about it, but I'm not going to do that. So, anyway, have a good night. See you next time.